last year. I think you already met so, anyway, I wanted to tell you, my husband wanted to be here, but he had asked me a business thing, and just like, make sure that you tell Justice Alito that, like, he is a fighter, and we appreciate him, and he has all the grit, and I know it's got to be terrible what you and your family are going through right now, so I'm just so sorry.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
But, and I'm sure you don't remember this at all, but what I had asked you about was about the polarization in this country, about, like, how do we repair that rift? And considering everything that's been going on in the past year, you know, as a Catholic and as someone who, like, really cherishes my faith, I don't know that we can negotiate with the left in the way that, like, needs to happen for the polarization to end. I think that it's a matter of, like, winning.
I think you're probably right. I think one side or the other is going to win. I don't know. I mean, there can be a way of working, a way of living together peacefully, but it's difficult, you know, because there are differences on fundamental things that really can't be compromised. You know, they really can't be compromised. So it's not like we're going to split the difference.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that the solution really is, like, winning the moral argument. Like, people in this country who believe in God have got to keep fighting for that, to return our country to a place of godliness.
Oh, I agree with you.
Because we look at, like, the decline of our society, the decline of the nuclear family, and liberals, I just feel like, want to see that happen and proliferate. And I think we've been too permissive to say, oh, you know, okay, I understand the Constitution. I understand, like... I didn't want to interrupt.
No. John, very nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. You take care of it.
I just want to ask you. I want to be totally appropriate with, you know, the jurisprudence of it all, but, you know, just to be totally candid, like, how do we get America back to a place of, like, really, like, less polarization? Because I feel like the court is undergoing this period of turmoil. Like, people don't trust in, I think, just like, this is like the last bastion of, I think, like, public trust. And, like, how do we get back to that?
I wish I knew. I don't know. It's easy to blame the media, but I do blame them because they do nothing but criticize us. And so they have really eroded trust in the court. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, ordinary people, ordinary isn't the right word. American citizens in general need to work on this to try to heal this polarization because it's very dangerous. I do believe it's very dangerous.
I think it's taking us to the brink of, you know, very serious and perhaps, like, non-repairable rifts in the country. And I, for one, am someone, like, I support your ruling on dogs. I support, like, I am very pro-life, but, like, you know, I don't know how we bridge that gap. You know, like, how do we get people...
I wish I knew. I don't know. It's not... I don't think it's something we can do.
But the court can't do anything to...
I mean, we have a very defined role.
Yeah.
We need to do what we're supposed to do. But this is a bigger problem. This is way above us. So I wish I knew the answer. I do.
But you guys haven't been able to find, like, the leaker?
Pardon me?
The leaker, like the... Are you guys being able to ferret that out?
It's hard. You know, you can't name somebody unless you know for sure. And we don't have the power to do the things that would be necessary to try to figure out, to nail down exactly who did it. That's the problem. And even then, we might not be able to do it. But we don't have the power to subpoena people to testify, to subpoena records, phone records, or other things like that. We don't have that authority. So
why? It just seems crazy that you can't, because it's so detrimental to the trust the public places in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, well, we're not a law enforcement agency, you know. It's people have certain rights to privacy. So law enforcement agencies can issue subpoenas and get search warrants and all that sort of thing, but we can't do that. So, you know, our marshal did as much as she could do, but it was limited.
So that was exhausting.
She did what she could do. But anyway.
Seriously, I just wanted to express my gratitude for everything that you're doing, because it's a really important fight for the rights of the unborn, and I know a lot of people don't appreciate that, but it's important, so thank you.
When these Supreme Court justices stood before the Senate to get a job on the highest court in the land, they made it clear they believed,
I don't think the president is above the law. No person in this country, no matter how high, is above the law.
I believe that no one is above the law, and that includes the president.
No man is above the law.
A president is not above the law.
And nobody is above the law, and that includes the President of the United States.
now they're going to rule on a case where Trump's lawyers are arguing that presidents can't be prosecuted for committing crimes while in office. The integrity of the Supreme Court, the integrity of the rule of law is on the line. These justices must prove their words were not just empty promises. They must rule against Trump's case and uphold the principle that in America, no one is above the law, even the president.
Above the truth and above the law. Let me just play these two clips to start with.
Before the debate in 2 weeks, he should take a drug test, because I'm willing to take one.
So it's kind of crazy. The Republican Party get talking points where they think, right, we're going to double down, go on and on and on about it and put it out there so people talk about it. I suppose it's politics. President Biden, during the State of the Union, gave a very, very strong speech. The Republican Party didn't really know how to handle it, so some person within their think tank thought, let's say that he's on some level of a stimulant. That's what they were being putting out with. This has now got to the fact that there's this is what they do. So Trump mentions it at a rally, which allows Fox News to say Trump said this, and at the same time run some commentary underneath, almost full of innuendo, knowing full well there's nothing there. But for them, it's a story. And this is what happens. It's not a question of them being above the truth. They know full well it's a lie. They just skirt around it. How much dirt can they throw? Because at the same time, they're saying, should the presidents have a drug test, or the president-elect, or the wannabe president, etc., in Trump's case, have a drug test before the debate? How about some of their own people having a, what's the thing, when the police stop you, if you're drink driving, to see if you're an alcohol breathalyzer test? There's quite a few people there. How about they have a breathalyzer test? Yeah. How about Don Trump Jr. does a test every time before he goes on Rumble? Where are we going to stop? How about they put a lie detector on? There we go. Seems about fair. Let's really, really do it. We'll do a drugs test, alcohol test, and a lie detector. Because are they above the truth? Clearly not. Which then moves us to...
Justice Clarence Thomas is compromised. On January 19th, 2022, Thomas was the only Supreme Court justice willing to help Trump and his allies hide from justice over the January 6th insurrection. Thomas did not hide that he was willing to grant Trump's request for secrecy, but it wasn't just to protect Trump and his conspirators. It was to protect his wife, Ginny Thomas. A radical right-wing activist, Ginny Thomas has openly applauded rebellion in the past.
I think people are rebelling, and there's a big tidal wave coming. I think the Democrats are pretty worried about what's coming.
and the lead up to January 6th was no different. Ginny Thomas used her direct line to Trump's White House to push for the overturning of a free and fair election, even attending the rally that would ultimately end in an attack on the U.S. Capitol. None of this would be known if Justice Thomas had gotten his way. The January 6th Commission can't do their job if one of the most powerful men in the country is using his seat to protect his best friend. Clarence Thomas must recuse himself because he took an oath to protect the Constitution, not his wife.
The situation with the judges, ALITO and Clarence Thomas, and you bung in 34 felonies as well. Why do they think that they are above the law? Is because if they're on the Supreme Court, are they affected by the law? Now, obviously, I'm a Brit from the outside looking in. How does the Constitution work? Can you be a corrupt judge and still sit on the Supreme Court? Does your position enable you to be above the law? Because it would appear as well that's what's going on now when the Supreme Court get to hear any case involving Trump. Is it the situation that he is above the law? It's just a yes or no, because I'm very, very confused about all of this. And I think it's in what I would call muddy areas, because a lot of people don't really analyse and take everything in. They maybe see a little clip there and a little clip there, and it's used to try and push this narrative that they're trying to take on Trump for political reasons, not the fact he's a criminal. Same with ALITO and with Clarence Thomas. Not for the fact that they're doing things which most of us would think, that's a bit wrong. Just a dangerous situation that's going on right now. Above the law and above the truth. Comment section now, please.